If you're into content creation, video production, or even audio production of any kind, you know that audio is super important. So today we're going to take a look at an option that I have found to be actually really good for under 120 bucks. It's the Meilada X5R. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and yeah, this is a nice little kit. If you do any kind of video production work, you've got to have some microphones. And I've been having a little bit of trouble with doing my Escape videos because I don't want to bring my $600 mic system out there, because if it crash, that's going to be, well, that's 600 bucks out the window. Not only that, maybe I want to use it with my iPhone sometimes. I've got an iPhone 14 Pro. It shoots great video, so for walk and talk stuff, it's awesome. So I've been researching, testing, and reviewing some of these microphones, and I found some pretty good options. This one today might be one of the better. Costs a little bit more. Some of those microphones that I've reviewed are only like, 50 bucks, maybe $30 or something like that. This one is listed on Amazon for $119, and that is a really good deal for what you're getting. In fact, I'm using that microphone right now. This is it right here. This one is attached with a magnet, or I could just clip it right onto my clothes right here on the, if I wanted to do it that way. But I'm kind of digging the magnet thing, you know what I mean? Real quickly, while we're inside, I want to go ahead and do this. We're going to click this button right here, and now noise reduction is on. So I don't know if you can really tell a difference in here, but I kind of could tell when I did it outside. I have already tested this riding an electric skateboard and some other stuff, which I'm going to include here in just a minute. But that's noise reduction mode, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that off as I'm talking to you. Noise reduction is now turned off. And if I wanted to record directly to this, it's got 4 gigs of space on it. Sorry about that. Each one of these transmitters has 4 gigs of space right in the unit. I could just record it directly to it. I was pleasantly surprised I could just take the receiver, pop it in my pocket, and go. I don't have to worry about attaching it to my camera or anything like that. And as far as a DSLR, I've got this attached to my Sony DSLR right now. Apparently the little clip that is on the back of these can just slide right into a cold shoe on a camera, so that's awfully nice too. Well, let's do this before I get to talking too much. Let's go ahead and find out what's inside the box and all the functions and features of it, take it out and do some tests, and we'll come back and wrap it up. So let's take a look at what's inside the box for the Meilada X5. It is a 2.4G active noise canceling wireless microphone. The box itself is nice. It's even got the little magnetic enclosure on it and stuff, but there isn't a whole lot of information on the outside of the box. It does show you what's inside of there. Company information back here on the back. When you open her up, it's packaged together super nicely. First, we've got a product warranty card and then the manual. And I can just ask, please, can these companies make the lettering bigger in these things? I realize that you have a lot of different languages to include and all that. The instructions for this are really just these 2 pages right here. But everything is so small that I have to get out my magnifying glasses, the 3 times magnification on them to read these things. So won't be able to read it to you here. But rest assured, I have read through all of this, and it's simple to use. One thing it doesn't point out in here that I did see on the website is that it has this, I guess you'd call it infrared or whatever, that it's a antibacterial. And you'll see this right here is telling you that the battery on this pack is full. Those are blinking right now, so they're charging. And this is also charging as well. You see the little lights that are up here at the top. So when you go to close it, it's really hard to catch it. It does have an infrared cleaning or antibacterial type thing to it. So that's nice. See what's inside of the box. Okay, you got a couple of windscreens in here, which is great. I'm going to test this on an electric skateboard because I've been looking for a miking solution for that, and these might do the trick. All right, and then we've got your cables that come included with it. This is a camera cable that you would use just like you normally use for a receiver plugged into a camera, wireless mic. And you've got a USB that has kind of the angled or sideways plug on it. And then a Type-C data cable. So this one's going to be for audio. Is it listed on there? Yeah, this is Type-C for audio, and then this is Type-C for data. Now, the audio that I'm using right now is from a Sennheiser mic plugged directly into the camera. That's what I use in my studio often. But once I show you all this stuff, then the rest of it will be using these microphones. So you can see X5CX right there. Boom. When you open it up, everything lights up. So they're all actually active right now. And then you've got these little adapters that are in here. This one is USB-C to Lightning for your iPhones. And then over here is USB-C to USB-C for Android. And I guess iPhone is going to be moving to that maybe with the iPhone 15. So it's good that they're kind of future-proofing you with that. The blue solid light means that they're connected. And you can see right here on the receiver that both of these microphones are actually getting audio right now. This button right here, you can change your dB. You can see that it's right down there at the bottom. So turning it up, and then all the way back down to the beginning. So usually you want to start around 3 dB, maybe 4. I'm guessing because it doesn't say a number down here, but it says dB, and you've got your little stepped thing for the levels. Pull one of these out of here, and now you can see that it's, well, it's definitely working well. It's got the levels on here going. This one is still active though. And this is the transmitter or microphone itself. You've got little magnets down there on the bottom of it. That is the microphone itself, and got a power button on here if you want to use that. The set button that's right here, if you hit it once, you see that that lights up blue. Well, that is now noise reduction. If we hit it once again, then that goes away. And if we hit this and we hold it, that red light right there means that it is recording, and it's recording directly to this. It's got 4 gigabytes of memory inside the microphone itself. So that's pretty cool. That is the signal strength. That's the battery level. And the middle one is the battery level for this. Battery level for the other mic and all of that. It's in mono right now. And if you hit this set button and you hold it, then it goes into stereo mode. All right, so right now I've got this plugged into my iPhone 14, and I don't have the fuzzy windscreen on there, obviously. This is mic number 1. I have it in stereo mode right now. And then this is mic number 2. So I'm testing to see if these actually do go in separate channels. So mic number 1 in this channel, and mic number 2 in this channel. So we'll see how that goes. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to cover this one right now. So this is mic number 2. Cover that one, and this is mic number 1. Right? And then when you're done recording, you can just do that, and they're both turned off. So you can record directly to these, and that's why I'm interested, because if I can do this where I can ride the skateboard and have these things recording without having to have them attached to a device, that would be pretty cool. Now this has a clip on it. This just goes right back down in there. Boop. Really nice magnets. And speaking of magnets, this right here is a magnet that you could take off of here, and instead of using the clip, I mean, you could just clip it right to your shirt, or you could put it inside your shirt and snap that behind it, and it'll hold it anywhere on your shirt. So if you've got I don't know, if you're a lady and you're wearing a blouse that is really loose and you can't just clip it on there, well, you can do it that way. It also gives you flexibility as to where to mount your transmitter. So put that back in there, and you see that they automatically just start charging. And then when you close this, it turns everything off. Okay, right now I'm just getting the audio off of another iPhone that I've got here. I think this is an iPhone 13. We're going to switch over to the audio from this in just a second, but I wanted to show you how easy everything is to do. So you've got these little adapters right here. This one would be USB-C to USB-C, and then the other one sits over here, and that's this one here. It's USB-C to Lightning for Apple iPhone. But they've also got this on here, so if you wanted to charge your phone and this while it's plugged in, it's passed through, so you can actually do that. And then over here on the bottom, you've got a headphone jack, so you can actually monitor it. That's your dB switch right there, so you can change your dB level. You'll see it right down there at the bottom. Usually running it at about 3 dB like that works just fine. You'll also notice that on this one, the icon says charging. That's because this one's sitting in the case and charging. And you've got your signal on here for the actual transmitter to the receiver here. And it's in stereo mode right now, and battery level for the 2 transmitters. This button also works to change it from the different modes. So that was stereo, and now it's MS. So that's the one where it's protected. It runs 2 different tracks. One is 3 dB lower than the other. It's a safety thing. Now we're going to go back to mono. All right, so the audio from an iPhone without a microphone is not so great, is it? But now we're going to switch over to the audio from this. I'll just open up this right here, and we'll shoot a little bit of video with it. And there we go. So now the audio is coming from the microphone. And as you can see on here, you can see the levels of both of those. Once I close this case right here, then the second one is going to turn off completely. And now we're just on the first microphone. So there we go. If we think that we need to have it up a little bit on the dBs, we'll just hit this right here and we'll take it up. And then of course, on the microphone itself, I can hit this button right here. And now we've got noise reduction on. There we go. So I'm going to put this to some tests. I'll film while I'm doing that, and we'll finish out this video. All right, so we've got it on here. It's turned on. I'm actually recording directly to the device, and I'm on one of my electric skateboards. So we're going to see if this actually can do good with the audio, because when we're on one of these things, you know, the wind is blowing already, and then you add that extra wind resistance of you rolling, and yeah, so we're gonna see how it goes. All right, I wanted to be quiet for a minute just to see how this was doing. Now we're gonna go ahead and pick up the speed. And that right there is 20 miles per hour. So going 20 miles per hour, we're gonna see how that did. Now what I wanna do is I'm gonna pull this receiver out of my pocket here. All right, so I've got the receiver here and I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the dB on that. So now we're at about 4 dB and we'll just see how that goes, okay? So put this back in my pocket. We got no wind here right now, but as soon as I start rolling, we're gonna have plenty of wind. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now that was with no noise reduction. So let's go ahead and we're gonna do this. So now noise reduction is on and recording is on, and the light is blinking blue. I don't know if you can see that. There you go, light is blinking blue. So let's see if there's any difference. All right, so, you know, on a typical day, I might be riding and talking and reviewing one of these boards, and there's definitely going to be some wind. So we're going to see how this thing is able to handle that. Of course, we do have the furry windscreen on here, but yeah, will it be able to handle that properly? If this microphone works out, this could be a good solution for me using going forward, and I am really going to be happy about that. All right. Now, of course, that is also with it clipped to my shirt, which I could pin it to my shirt with the magnet. It seems like it's pretty solid. All right, so walking down to the pier where I like to do these tests, it's actually a beautiful day out here today. A little bit hot, but yeah, just as if I was doing a walk and talk type of thing for a vlog or whatever, I wanted to exemplify that it seems to be working really great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up this tripod down here. I'm gonna aim it right out there at that pier, and I'm gonna go walk down that pier. Now they say up to 200 meters of distance. Like I say, I don't know that you'll ever need that, but we're gonna test it out. You'll notice that I'm gonna be walking backwards because this has to have line of sight to the receiver that is on my iPhone 14 Pro right now. This is another reason why I wanted to do this, is because I want to show you that it does work great with a phone. So let's do that. All right, this pier here, I don't know exactly how long this pier is, but I know that it's at least 200 meters. Okay, so back is to the camera. Not sure if that was picking that up, but that should give you, you know, the thing is, are you ever this far away from your camera that you need your microphone to go that far? I don't know, but we're gonna test it out. So I'm gonna have to walk backwards here, and I'm probably going to fast forward some of this video. Do a little running back here. Now, usually it is actually pretty windy out here. This is the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It can be quite windy. So I'm a little bit surprised. I do have the windscreen on here, the fuzzy windscreen, but I probably don't even need it at this point, but let's go ahead and get out here. All right, little check for audio. And I'm wondering if you can actually pick up this plane that's flying over me right now. All right, check at this point. Let's see, we are, man, only probably about halfway down this pier. I'm just really curious to see at what point do we lose signal out here. All right, I am pretty far away from that camera now. Again, you are never gonna need, at least in my opinion, your microphone to go this far, but we are out here. Might as well go all the way to the end, right? All right, I'm getting winded because I'm jogging backwards. All righty, well, here we go. All right, we are at the end now, and this has gotta be more than 200 meters away. So I'm gonna go ahead and start walking back. Now, you'll notice that I'm winded, and also that I did not turn my back to the camera because your body is going to block the signal. It's just naturally going to happen. So if you have line of sight, you're almost always going to have your audio perfect. You know, when you're just taking a quick, easy walk out to the end of the pier, it's not the same as when you're jogging it, right? So there we go. Now, of course, when I'm doing tests like that, I have no idea what the audio was, but there is a headphone jack on here. So if I wanted to test that audio before I started walking, well, I could do that. But yeah, we're going to take this back to the studio and see how it went. So yeah, this mic system is really quite nice for under $120. Now it's all plastic, so of course it doesn't have the ruggedness of the metal chassis Sennheiser like these right here. This is what I use in my studio usually. So it might not be quite as sturdy, but man, this thing it works really quite well. Keeping in mind that this Sennheiser system that I've got here, $600, $700 minimum. And that's one mic and one transmitter, one receiver. With this, you've got two transmitters or microphones. The receiver, you've got all those little adapters, you've got cables that it comes with. And not only that, the case charges everything. And when you close the case up, it turns on little antibacterial lights in there. So it's even sanitizing your gear after you use it. That's pretty awesome. Another thing that you could do is if you were recording an interview and you wanted to make sure that you did not lose that audio for whatever reason, you can get the audio on the camera. You can also record onto this just by activating the onboard recording. And that way, you know you're going to have your audio. Now, when I did the Escape video, I wanted to show you the audio from the camera. If you didn't pick up on that loud wind noise, that was from the camera itself. It's an Insta360 camera. Even when it's not windy, you're going to get a lot of wind interference on that. I always kind of figure out a way that, you know, where's the least amount of wind. But with this thing and the windscreen on there, the fuzzy thing, man, no problem whatsoever. As you saw, I mean, I could even hear the actual board under my feet, so that's nice. Distance-wise, yeah, it can do a long distance, but do we really need that? I know a lot of these microphones are going for that. Just remember, if you are, for whatever reason, going to use that, make sure that it's line of sight, that this is basically pointing at that receiver, so otherwise your body is going to block the signal and you're going to get cut out and stuff. So, you know, just something to keep in mind. But hey, if you need it for long distances, it'll do it. So the Meilada X5, or is it X5R? A little unclear on that. It says X5 on the front of the box and X5R in the back where it says model number. It's a more than competent setup, and if you're on a budget, this might be the one to get. You can use it with your phone, you can use it with your computer, you can use it with your gaming system, you can use it with your cameras, your DSLRs, like the one that I'm on right now, all for under 120 bucks. Hey, I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. It's been around since 2013. I've always been a huge geek, and all the products that I've put on this channel really reflect that. In the last couple of years, I've really expanded. I'm very much into audio and video production, so these microphones, it's kind of a joy for me to test them out. Plus, I get to share them with you, which is always the best. So if you've been around since 2013, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you. And if you're new, well, welcome to the channel. Easiest way to support this channel is by giving this video a like if you like what you see. Also, there is a subscription button down there. You can hit that. And the notification bell, you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. And if you haven't yet, please check out some of the other content on the channel here. I've got a lot of stuff with electric skateboards, electric bikes and scooters, solar power, solar panels, guitar stuff, electric guitar. I'm going to be doing a lot more with that now that I've got that beautiful Angle amp over there. Oh man, she's nice. Bottom line is, I really appreciate you. It's very humbling to me, and I thank you very much for watching. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.